Hi everyone, hope you enjoyed our film. I know I enjoyed watching it. As you can see, I'm in heaven. Okay, so our group was in charge of the mythological and archetypal lens, and we wanted to record so many more scenes, but if we would have, our video would literally be an hour long, and you guys don't want that. So the scenes that ended up making the film were the scenes that we thought showed the best examples of mythological and archetype. So the first scene we chose was the scene where Gertrude and Claudius are talking to Hamlet and telling him why he's being so depressed and such a downer and to stop mourning. Everyone loses their father at some point. And we chose a scene because we thought it was the best time to bring in the archetype, the heroic archetype of the unbalanced hero, which is a protagonist who has or must pretend to have mental or emotional deficiencies. And with this scene, we let the audience know that Hamlet has just lost her father, and he is right now mourning and mentally unstable. But as you can see throughout the film, he doesn't really let that pain go, so which drives his vengeance, of course. So that's why we chose this scene. So the modern scene we chose was the church scene with Claudius and Hamlet at the church. And we chose this scene because we thought it showed the best at the two themes of action versus inaction and appearance versus reality. The appearance versus reality part would come into play whenever Claudius is appearing to be praying, but in reality he wasn't. He was just fooling Hamlet. And the action versus inaction part would come into play whenever Hamlet is considering and killing Claudius, but in the end he starts to overthink things, of course, as usual, and instead doesn't act upon it and doesn't kill Claudius. This scene also shows Hamlet has a level of respect for religion and the church. How he says this is not the right time. I might just send him up. Might as well just give him a golden ticket to heaven. I might as well just kill. I'm gonna wait and kill him whenever he's committing sin, so he can go to hell. And then speaking of heaven and hell, this also ties to the symbolic archetype of heaven versus hell. And like I said before, heaven is just, it doesn't approve of vengeance, and if Hamlet were to kill Claudius, instead of doing any good, he is just going to send him to heaven, and he doesn't deserve to be there in his eyes. And the hell part would just be, if Hamlet does kill Claudius at the church, since Christianity and religion don't approve of vengeance, it's gonna be like a twist where Claudius will be sent to heaven, Hamlet would be sent to hell. The thing that I want to talk about is the conversation between Horatio and Hamlet, and I feel like that scene is important because it shows Hamlet, his fatal fall bringing his downfall, which is a heroic archetype, which is a transcendent hero, which is a hero of tragedy whose fatal flaw brings about his downfall, but not without achieving some kind of transforming realization or wisdom. I feel like this scene is important because besides it shows a biblical allusion to the sparrows, and which could be found in Matthew 10. Pretty much that story is about these two birds who are at war, but both of the lives are in the hands of God. God chooses who dies, who lives. Pretty much it. And this ties perfectly into their conversation because, first of all, with the transcendent hero, Horatio warns him, gives him many explanations why. He's like, I think you're going to die and stuff. And then Hamlet, the last little quote that he has, he's like, we defy augury, which is pretty much translates to I defy danger signs. He pushes away Horatio's warnings, which in the end brings his downfall. And also in the second part of that quote, he's like, if it be not now, it be next to come, or something like that. Just pretty much is that in the end, everyone is going to die. If it's not going to be now, it's going to be later. If it's not going to be later, it's going to be sometime soon. Everyone's just going to end up dead. And I just feel how this also foreshadows to everyone's death, of course. I just feel that that's why it's an important part. So the last scene we chose to do were the clown scenes talking. And we chose this scene because we thought it was one of the most important scenes throughout the whole play. We thought this because, first of all, the clowns, how we discussed in class, they are the fools who can see reality. And Hamlet, throughout the whole play, he wants to just find out the truth and expose the truth to the world. And you can see this also in the last scene, wherever just everyone dies, and he tells Horatio that to live on and tell his tale, like tell the truth, of course. And so we chose this scene because it shows that death is a great equalizer. And you know, at one point, death is going to come. Like at the end, it doesn't matter if you act or you not act, if you want to get revenge or not. In the end, everyone's going to die, and it doesn't matter. And I feel that Hamlet, like with this scene, he gets a sense of reality, like the only reality that he gets, saying that in the end, everyone's just going to end this way. And I feel we thought that was one of a key moment in the play, because I feel like he's ready for it. Yeah. Also has some biblical allusions. It talks about Cain and Adam, and I feel like this is important because, if you guys know, Adam was the first man on earth, and he was the first man that God created. But whenever they ate from the forbidden apple, or forbidden fruit, the tree, from the forbidden tree, that was when sin was brought into the world and death was brought into the world. So pretty much, Adam is responsible for everyone dying. And I feel the Cain part is important because he was the first murderer that was ever to be. And I just feel this is important because it shows that Cain's quest for power and to be number one, that put in that darkness in his heart, just how Claudius wants to be king and be better than his brother. He killed him, and in the end, they both die a horrible death.